Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville National. They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses, a man and machine. They're full wide, green flag, showtime, the Knoxville Nationals are green.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? I hope so, as we're getting ready to hear for another night of racing at On the Pole here with Fleer Farm TV. I'm your host, Adam Fleer, here from Lucas Oil Speedway here tonight in Indianapolis with the Coast to Coast Racing League here at Coast to Coast Racing Network here tonight. Qualifying begins here for the modified, or 358 modifieds, that is. And they're brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. As you're looking there at Billy Roberts out there in his 66, getting set to rock and roll here tonight. Trying to make sure that we got everything situated here, running right on my end, so everybody can hear me okay. All right, there we go. Thank you all for tuning in there on Coast to Coast Racing Network. You're watching Scott Riome in the 444 for Full Throttle Motorsport. We see time rolling in there. Best time here tonight, that's going to be with Isaac Salas with a 15.338. Trevor Garou with a 15.378. Got a nice field here tonight. And unfortunately, I don't know if everybody's going to make the show. We will wait and see. We got a nice field here of the 358 division here at Lucas Oil here this evening. Looking there at the 210 of Barry Wallace. There's the 51 of Clay Christopherson. Hey, driver, head on out here. Looking good so far. Looks like everybody has qualified. We're going to be getting to heat number 1 just shortly. There you see the number 8 of Kian Fry. Hopefully I got that right this week there, Kian. As we get started here, heat number 1. Here's your heat number 1 grid for the Full Throttle Motorsports Dirt Modified Series. Brandon Dittmer there out front. William Watson there second. Randall Dixon third. Isaac Salas there fourth. Billy Roberts fifth. G.J. Boydell there will be starting sixth. John Dubai in seventh. Shane Billings there in eighth. Bob DeGood will be rolling off at ninth. And Kian Fry will be rolling off in 10th. That is your heat number 1 lineup. They'll take a lap around, and then we'll be ready to go here with heat number 1. Looks like everything's running just the way it should be here. Hopefully everybody's excited for a great night of racing. 8 laps of distance here for heat number 1. Yeah, you see that 5 there of Isaac Salas up on the top side there behind William Watson. And at 23. Brandon Dittmer, your lead car. Now Isaac Salas is starting fourth because he won the qualifying. They invert the top 4 here at Coast to Coast. Now, if you're curious why Salas got the pole on the qualifying and is starting fourth, that would be why. All right, here we go. Green flag is out. Down here in the corner number 1 they go. William Watson out there in second down here through the corner, and already we got a problem back here. 3 cars are stacked up. John Dubai, Bob DeGood. Bob DeGood's up there on his side and gets thrown up into the outside wall. Those tires gone off the front of that machine. It looked like Billy Roberts didn't pay no mind. And here they come out of corner number 4. And here we go down the backstretch, looking there at the 817 of Shane Billings. Down there on the inside. And then we're going down there. You see the 014 Boydell up there above them. In front of them, that's Randall Dixon in at 011. William Watson in the 23. Out front is Salas. 5 laps to go here in heat number 1. Down here through in the corner number 1 they go. Back onto the backstretch. Don Dubai back out here trying to stay ahead. There you see Kean Fry up there as well. You see them coming out of turn number 4. Salas having a connection issue there at the moment as they roll down here out of corner number 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. Salas out there in front. Watson there in second. Dixon there in third as they come rolling off here. There you see Shane Billings. Boydell there in fifth. 2 laps to go. The 83 there of Britt Dittmer out front. Head off through in the corner number 1 down there on the inside. We got the 5 of Salas as he works up there to the lead. 23 of Watson. Then we got Dixon up there in the third. Shane Billings back here in fourth now. Dittmer having issues in the 83. Ended up crashing now in the pit. So his heat race not going the way he wanted it to. Unofficial results coming in here as Salas takes the checkered flag. Waiting on results to come in. Salas got the win in his heat. Heat number 1 results. Isaac Salas getting the win. William Watson second. Randall Dixon third. Shane Billings there fourth. G.I. Boydell there fifth. Sean Fry there. Kean Fry there in sixth. John Dubai there in seventh. Billy Roberts there in eighth. Brandon Dittmer there ninth. Bob DeGood in 10th. Heat number 2 up here on the grid. Scott Riome out there in front. Jeff Barker there second. Joseph Grandi third. Trevor Garou there fourth. Mike Wheeler there fifth. Sam Buckman there starting sixth. Mike Brewer rolls off in 7th. Ryland Banks in 8th. Jason Butterfield there in 9th. And Clay Christopherson rounds out your field of 10 drivers here in heat number 2. Once again, 8 laps the distance. Thank you again, everybody that's tuning in to Coast to Coast Racing Network and anybody that's over at Flinga Farm TV. Thank you for tuning in there as well. We got them set and rolling here for heat number 2 of the 358 Modifieds here from Full Throttle Motorsports. Down here in the corner number 3. Everybody's getting set to rock and roll. Jeff Barker and Scott Riome, your front row, as we get headed here into the start of heat number 2. Loud pedal gets pressed. They're down here in the corner number 1. Up there on the outside, Jeff Barker, followed by Joseph Grandi down here on the inside. Scott Riome trying to hang on to it there through the corner. Down there on the inside, getting a little tangled up, is the 76. Ryland Banks as they now head back down into corner number 1 and 2. There you see the 39, or the 390 of Mike Brewer. There you see Chris Dobson in the number 51 trying to work his way up there through the field. Bachman there in the middle of all this, down there on the inside. I got Grandi up there in second now. Scott Riome still leads the race. Brewer back here in the back. Ryland Banks having issues back here at the back now. They're 3 wide here in the corner number 1. Down here on the inside is the 75 of Trevor Garou. And that 75T there behind him is that 007 of Sam Bachman. As Sam Bachman gets around Trevor, as Trevor now gets stacked up there, they now go 4 wide here through turn 1 and 2 with Christopherson up there. They end up 2 wide coming off the corner here. Christopherson now going to see if he can shoot the middle gap. Going to go 3 wide here through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Back off. Christopherson gets that middle to possibly work. He gets up there and possibly around the 75T of Trevor Guru. Christopherson up there in to 5th now as they head on down through here. 3 to go. The 518, Joseph Grandi trying to get up there to Scott Riome. As Scott Riome leads the way, Jeff Barker back here in 3rd. Bachman 4th. Brewer there 5th. Heading off back through here, we got some drivers here with problems. And we got the 75T, Butterfield in the 66 of Mike Weeda involved. There you see the 93 of Butterfield as they try to get back rolling again here in their heat. Final lap here, final corner. Scott Riome coming down here through turn 3 and 4. Joseph Grandi there in 2nd as they work off down the front straightaway. Scott Riome getting the win here in heat number 2. All right, heat number 2 here tonight. Here it is. Scott Riome getting the win. Joseph Grandi in 2nd. Jeff Barker 3rd. Sam Bachman there 4th. Mike Brewer 5th. Clay Christopherson there 6th. Jason Butterfield there 7th. Mike Weeda there 8th. Trevor Guru there 9th. And Rylan Banks in 10th. All right, here we go. Heading off through. They got the grid here for heat number 3. Michael Vitale out there in front. Brody Plotz out there in 2nd. Dylan Kinsey 3rd. Brian Dickens there 4th. Matt Barber rolls off in 5th. Harold Klump in 6th. Dean Reynolds in 7th. David Tromansky there in 8th. Barry Wallace 9th. And Logan Wentz rolls off here in 10th. All right, here we go. Heat number 3 getting ready for the start. And the Harold Klump there in the number 35. Up there out in front. Pace car rolls off there in turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Vitale out there playing the cards to get up there into that pole position. Dylan Kinsey starting back there in 4th in that number 1. Brian Dickens starting back there in 4th in the number 122. Down here off corner number 4. Down and away in the corner number 1 here for heat number 3 as they head here for their 8 laps. Working down here off of corner number 2, down that back straightaway, the 96 of Brody Plotz. Trying to get up there and battle with Michael Vitale. Vitale got all kind of company all over the back door. As there comes Brian Dickens now to the inside. In that 3rd spot, Dylan Kinsey there in 3rd as we lost somebody. Now he's come back. Dylan Kinsey's there in 4th. Harold Klump back here in 5th. And that number 35, they roll down here off the corner, back down through the front straightaway. In the corner number 1, Brian Dickens out there in 2nd. Brody Plotz there in 3rd. With Dylan Kinsey there 4th now. He works down there on the inside, trying to get around the 196. Brody, and does so, gets it up there, gets the slide done. So 639 now up to 3rd place. Here as Brian Dickens now in 2nd. Michael Vitale there out front. Leading the way here with 4 to go in heat number 3. Down here through corner number 1 and 2. Back down through the backstretch. Everybody's out here trying to fight for a spot. Brody out there in the 4th. There you saw Wallace back here in 8th. That rook down through turn 1 and 2. Kinsey out here 3rd. Dean Reynolds back here in 6th as they work on down here out of corner number 3 and 4. Down on that inside. Up off in the corner number 1. Michael Vitale still leads the way at the moment. Dickens looking to the inside though as they come down here into corner number 3 and 4. Not enough there as they come down to the white flag. Final lap here in heat number 3. 122 of Brian Dickens trying to get that inside lane to work right there below. Gets up into the 213 of Vitale just a little bit coming out of turn number 2. As they come here off of 4, it will be Vitale with the win. Dickens there 2nd. Kinsey there in 3rd. Wait for the official results to come in here. Vitelli got your win. So they're getting ready here. Heat number 3, your results. Michael Vitelli out there in front. Brian Dickens there second. Dylan Kinsey in third. Brody Plotz in fourth. Matt Barber there fifth. Dean Reynolds sixth. Harold Klump there in seventh. Barry Wallace eighth. David Tomansky there in ninth. Logan Wentz in 10th. Now we'll start with the B main. Your LCQ here tonight. This is the way they're going to line up. Boydell will get the pole position. Brewer in second. Barber in third. Fry fourth. Christopherson will roll off in fifth. Dean Reynolds in sixth. John Dubai in seventh. Jason Butterfield there in eighth. Harold Klump in ninth. Billy Roberts 10th. Mike Wida 11th. Barry Wallace there in 12th. 13th is going to start Brandon Dittmer with Trevor Guru starting 14th. David Tormansky there in 15th. Bob DeGood in 16th. Ryland Banks there in 17th. Logan Wentz in 18th. That is your starting grid of heat number 3, of your LCQ. They're coming around here getting ready for the start. Drivers are all set and ready to rock and roll. They work here off of corner number 3. Everybody's getting set to go. Matt Barber back there in third. Got Kean Fry back here in fourth. Green flag is out, down and away, down into corner number 1. Let's see, will they make it through here as everybody scatters to try to make the show. Boydell up here in second. Christopherson there third. Fry in fifth. Dean Reynolds gets around him there. Fry falling back there into about 6th now. They come storming down here into corner number 1 and 2. The 21 getting a little bit of a shot. The 93 going around. That's Butterfield. He does collect it back up, but not before having a couple issues with some of the drivers back here at the back. The 313 of Tomansky ends up back in the pits. Dean Reynolds down here through off the corner. We got 8 to go here in the B main as they work down into corner number 3 and 4. Matt Barber up there on the top side. The 014 of Boydell getting a little bit more sideways than what he would like. Had to straighten it back up. Ends up clipping on Fry there, it looked like, as they head down the backstretch once again. The 79 there of Reynolds up in the 4th. Trevor Guru down here in 8th. John Dubai in 9th. Wheeler in 10th. Now, I'm sorry, folks. I'm unsure how many might transfer as they head on down through here. We do have Brewer out front, though, in that 390. Clay Christopherson there in 2nd. Ryland Banks having issues as he's in the pits and out. Dittmer is out, sitting in the pits here, so that's going to possibly be close to ending their night. We'll see. Here comes that 35 battling there beside the 75T. Trevor Guru, that is Harold Klump in that 35. Out there in front of them is the 014 of Boydell as they work down here through turn 3 and 4. 4 laps to go here in the B main. Everybody comes storming down in the 1 and 2 once again here, jumping through. Getting a little bit tangled up there. Bob DeGood trying to keep that number 7 pointed in the correct direction. Matt Barber, Christopherson, and Brewer all coming off of turn number 4. And we got the 7 a little bit too sideways once again. Gonna end up losing more positions there for Bob DeGood. Jason Butterfield back here in 14th. There you see Reynolds, Christopherson, and company coming there off of corner number 4. White flag in the air for Brewer as they come down across. And the 7 is way up there into the outside wall. Now he ends up back here at the back of the pack. Here comes Brewer coming down through turn 3 and 4. Christopherson there in 2nd as they come off of corner number 4. It is Brewer with the win here in the B main. Christopherson there 2nd and Barber there 3rd. As we look on down through the field here at who might have finished here. Waiting for the results to come in for the LCQ. is your results from the LCQ. Mike Brewer out there getting the win. Clay Christopherson there second. Matt Barber in third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Boydell fifth. Trevor Giroux there sixth. Harold Klump there seventh. Kean Fry there in eighth. John DeBay in ninth. Mike Wheeler in 10th. Barry Wallace there 11th. Logan Wentz there 12th. Jason Butterfield 13th. Billy Roberts 14th. Bob the Good 15th. Brandon Dittmer there 16th. And Rylan Banks in 17th. 18th tonight. That's going to finish there. David Termansky. All right, we will be back after this short message.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here with the RSN Trackside grid here for the FTM Full Throttle Motorsports Dirt Modified Series here with the 358s. Here is your starting grid for the feature. Isaac Salas will get your pole position. Scott Riome in second. Michael Vitale in third. William Watson fourth. Joseph Grande there in fifth. Brian Dickens there sixth. Randall Dixon seventh. Jeff Barker there in eighth. Dylan Kinsey starts 9th with Shane Billings there in 10th. Sam Bachman there in 11th. Brody Plotz in 12th. 13th is going to start Mike Brewer with Clay Christopherson there 14th. Matt Barber in 15th. Dean Reynolds there in 16th. Boydell in 17th. Trevor Giroux there in 18th. Harold Klump 19th. Kean Fry in 20th. John DeBay 21st. Mike Wheeler there in 22nd. Barry Wallace 23rd. And Logan Wentz 24th. It's great to see a full field here tonight. of 24 cars if we can. I do not see Boydell on the track. And it looks like we might be missing a few others as well. I don't know. Isaac Salas, no, okay. We're starting this whole problem again. I know everybody's out there. The only one I'm not sure of is Boydell, as I'm not getting any markings on his. There's no telemetry on that car at all. So down here, through off the corner. And they head on out through here. Mike Weeda, Barry Wallace, they're all back here. I don't know why it's saying they're out, but they are not. As you see my scoreboard's goofing up here. Once we hit about 24 cars, I have that issue, and I don't understand why or where it's coming from. And come through off of turn number 4 they go. And all kind of action going on here to try to keep track of it. We see Scott Realm. Caution is out. Michael Vitale, Brian Dickens, see what happened here. See if we can catch it. You see Vitale there on the inside. Going to end up coming there close to a stop. So hold on a moment while we try to figure this out. I'm not seeing anything here. There it is, down there on the infield side. And unfortunately, it was with blinked out cars, so I didn't quite see what went on. Sorry about that, folks. I am trying to figure out what that issue is to fix it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I had the car volume on there, Ron. Sorry about that. We're lap 3 into the... we head off. There goes the pace car coming around here onto the backstretch. We head on down here down the backstretch. Off the corner, number 4. Everybody trying to get up there and they get going. Michael Vitale's there in 4th. No, he should be 3rd. I'm not sure why it has Logan Wentz scored out there at the moment. There you go. Come on down through there. And some of those drivers, as we said, are not out. I don't understand why my iRacing is doing that. They got Scott Riom out there in front. Michael Vitale there 3rd. Grandi there in 4th. Now 5th as they all come battling off of the corner. Down here in the corner number 1. 3 wide there for 2nd through 4th. They get touched. Look out. Vitale's in the wall. So the 23. Look out. Vitale up and around. Caution's going to come out, and we did catch that one. Vitale is facing the wrong direction there in turn number 3 and 4. Here we see it. We've seen them banging around there. Oh, we missed that one. Who was that? That was the 390. No, that was somebody else was facing the wrong way as well. That's Shane Billings in the 17. Getting shoved the wrong way as well going into turn number 3. And he kind of got stacked up and spun around himself. And collected a few there. Luckily, doesn't look too terrible on those cars as they try to get rolling once again here. There you see Vitale trying to come back out onto the racetrack. Same with the 96. So they're going to come around here. 26 laps to go for your feature event from Lucas Oil here in Indianapolis. I see Joseph Grundy out there in 4th. William Watson there in 5th. Coming down here out of corner number 4. They'll get onto that loud pedal. Down and away they go. Green flag is out. Here we go. Once again, down here in the corner number 1. Up there on that high side, that 518, Joseph Grundy. There's William Watson up to 4th now with Dixon falling back there to 6th. As Christopherson gets up there, battles on the high side. They make contact coming off of turn number 4 down here in the corner number 1. Side by side, everybody's trying to battle for position. As you look at the damage there on the 011 of Randall Dixon, as he's got some marks. They work here off the corner, up off of 4, down through 1 and 2, and front of the pack kind of settled out. Isaac Salas out there in front, just kind of hoping everything that he hears going on behind him is okay. 23 laps to go. Christopherson now down there on the inside. He tries to battle up here to get towards the lead. Down there off corner number 2, up off the backstretch. Scott Riome there in 3rd. Dickens there in 7th. Dean Reynolds there in 8th. Mike Brewer in 9th as they roll on down off of here. You see that 513, Jeff Barker, Sam Bachman there in 13th. Logan Wentz and there in 13th. Getting a little bump there from the 018. You see them work down here in the corner number 1. You got the 21 there. John Dubai working on down through. There you see William Watson. They're all single file up there towards the front until you get to about mid-pack, and they're just all over each other. You see the 513 there, Jeff Barker with Logan Wentz in the 018. And along with the 007 there, Sam Bachman. There's now 4 wide coming off of turn number 4. Bachman trying to get the grip. The 018 there getting down there into the 513. The 513, Jeff Barker rolling that bottom side at the moment here with 18 laps to go. Down here in the corner number 1 goes the Pullman for All Motorsports. 444, Scott Riome, William Watson there in 4th. Brian Dickens there 5th. Clay Christopherson there 6th. Dylan Kinsey in 7th. Dean Reynolds in 8th. Down here off the corner they go. 16 laps to go at Lucas Oil to determine the winner here in the 358 division of the Thursday Night Thunder from Coast to Coast Racing League. And you're watching here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network and over at Flicker Farm TV. On the pole, Scott Riome down there in 3rd. William Watson in 4th. Brian Dickens there 5th. Clay Christopherson there in 6th. There you see Logan Wentz down there off a turn number 3. Trying to get that RU18 number up there towards the front. Christopherson gaining on Brian Dickens at the moment. We see Scott Riome. Got Watson pulling in on him. Grundy there in 2nd. Salas out there in front. Coming out of 2 down that back straightaway. Has all kind of mayhem behind them as they all fight for position. There's Randall Dixon in that 011. You got the 213 there out Michael Vitale. They work on down off. There you see Brody Plotz there in 20th. Isaac Salas out there, as we said, leading the way. Caution is out. Barry Wallace. They're trying to figure out where this caution happened. I hear it, but I don't see it. I do know Barry Wallace is in the pits. I'll scratch that. Barry Wallace is back out on track. Alright, so we get started here with trying to get the race finished. 12 laps to go. It'll be 11 when we take the flag. Gotta wait for our scoring board to get correct. Alex Alice, as your leader, been doing a great job here tonight. Sport Mission 22 on that machine, as well as the Super Dirt Car Series. Most likely going to be a single file restart as they come off of 4. Green flag in the air. Down here in the corner number 1. As you see that 518 there of Joseph Grundy getting up there in the 2nd. William Watson there in the 4th. Going to try to see if he can get underneath of Riom. Cannot quite get there. Everybody kind of single files it out down here through the corner. Got 96 there. There you go. 196 there of Brody. Hey, it works under the 8 of Fry down here in the corner number 3. Side by side, 9 laps to go. Got to try to keep it off one another. Coming down through the front stretch. Salas out front once again as he's been all race. Scott Riom there in 3rd. William Watson in 4th. Brian Dickens 5th. Clay Christopherson there in 6th. They work on out through here. Down in the corner number 1 and 2. Mike Brewer back here in 10th. Logan Wentz there in 11th. Sam Bachman there 12th. Working on down here out of the corner. Going 3 wide there possibly with Harold Klump in the middle. And he thought better of it as he tries to battle there with the 007 Sam Bachman. Now they work there off at corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Isaac Salas, your leader. Caution is back out this time for Randall Dixon. As Dixon's in the pits. See if we can see what happened to Dixon here as he comes through there. Ends up down there into the infield. Off the corner, single file, as it looks like Riom's going to get a great start that time to get to the outside of Grundy. Going to try to get him down the back stretch as they're side by side. Riom going to take that 2nd spot. Now he's going to try to get up there and battle with Salas. Salas is out there in front. Grundy getting a momentum down there on the inside, getting that bottom to work a little bit. 5 laps to go here in the 358, and hang on to it. Logan Wentz having some issues back here as he ends up split 3 wide with the 75T of Trevor Grew down there on the inside, up off the corner. Scott Riom there in 2nd. Joseph Grundy there 3rd. William Watson there 4th. Clay Christopherson 5th. Matt Barber, and we have Brian Dickens up into the outside wall. Caution back out as the 122 of Dickens is up there, and I thought I saw somebody else as well. We'll see who all is involved here. They end up coming in here, corner number 1. And looks like Dean Reynolds in the 79 just kind of shoves everybody up the racetrack. And he might have came in just a little hot and comes up the racetrack into the 122 of Dickens. So it'll be 6 laps to go when we get there. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 to go. Well, 4 to go, I guess. 4 to go. There's the F5 of Salas working there off of 4. Green flag in the air. Once again, they're down and away. Down into corner number 1. Salas gets holding on to that lead. Riom there second. Grandi there in third. Watson there fourth. Christopherson back here in fifth as it's 3 laps to go. As they come here out of turn number 4. Salas is going to make it 2 laps to go as they all storm down here. Look out, the 513 there. Jeff Barker, he's working there on the 210. Barry Wallace, as Wallace tries to hang on to it there for that Octane sponsored machine. Down here into the bottom of 3 and 4. Salas comes across to get the flag. Down here out of 2. Final time. Scott Riom here in second. Grandi there in third as they come up through there. Salas ringing that top lane. Up off of 4. It will be Salas getting the win. Here as they come down into corner number 1. Matt Barber up there in 6th. We'll have to wait for the official results to come in. Yeah, here it goes. Your official results. Isaac Salas getting the win. Scott Riom there second. Grandi there third. William Watson fourth. Clay Christopherson fifth. Matt Barber sixth. Dylan Kinsey there seventh. Trevor Garou there eighth. Harold Klump there in 9th. Vitali in 10th. Samuel Bachman there 11th. Brody there in 12th. Kean in 13th. Jeff Barker finishes 14th. Barry Wallace is 15th. Shane Billings there 16th. John Divide 17th. 18th, that's going to go there to Dean Reynolds with Mike Wheeler there in 19th. Logan Wentz 20th. Brian Dickens there 21st. Mike Brewer 22nd. Randall Dixon there 23rd. And Boydell finishes here tonight in 24th. All right, now let's go and see if we can get with our winners. Now we got Joseph Grandi, our third place finisher. Well, I don't see Grandi. Oh, there, Grandi. All right. Good evening there, Joseph. How's it going?
Right, what's up?
Going good then. You're doing good? Getting that third place tonight?
Yeah, I feel like, little weird start, that one restart, but is what it is, and yeah, I'm happy just to finish half the time.
Well, you got a podium tonight, getting third place amongst a lot of tough competitors out there. Kind of take us through what you think of the track. Your car feel okay for the track tonight?
Yeah, Lucas Oil. It races the same every time. Is what it is. People fall in line. But overall, it was fun. I can't complain too much.
No, you guys always look like you're having a great time out there. And anytime you can finish up there towards the top with this group of guys here coast to coast is always a plus.
Yeah, especially when Isaac's racing. He's always tough to beat.
Well, you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting third place here tonight in the 358s?
Yeah, Catalytic Recovery, all the guys over at RMDB, Sim Sports, all the guys that Raise the Bar, People Homes, Mad Rabbit, Highlights and Photography, Girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast. I don't know who won the championship, but congratulations to them. and you man for doing the broadcast. And Isaac going to win.
Alrighty, well, we can look to see if the points tell us here. But congrats there tonight, getting third place, and we'll see how you're going to be around next season when it starts back up.
Hit or miss. I usually don't get a full season in with these guys. It's rare.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes then. Congrats on the third place.
All right, man. Thank you.
So that was Joseph Grandi. Now we'll get with Scott Riome, our second place finisher. Good evening, Scott. How's it going?
Going good.
Well, you got yourself a second place here to start tonight. We're looking at the standings now, but how did you think Lucas Oil felt tonight with the 358s?
It was pretty slick out there. A lot of guys, a lot of cars, which is really great to see. A lot of moving around. The top in 3 and 4 was really thin there at the end. And that was the faster line early on. And it was just going away. So by the time it was really gone, it was just kind of protect mode and try to hang on.
Yeah, it definitely was a great job there tonight by everybody. I mean, yeah, we had a few cautions, but nothing too terrible, I would think. Just, we had a lot of tight racing. That's what it boiled down to.
Yeah, that's Lucas Oil for you. I mean, it is what it is. When you come to this place, you got to know that, you're going to get into people. People are going to get into you. It sucks when, guys get a little bent out of shape, but I mean, that's what it is. It's dirt track racing.
It is. I mean, there is times though to be a little bit more upset, but for the most part, things happen.
Yep, things happen.
So you got sponsor shouts. Anybody you want to thank for getting second place here at the 358s?
I thank all the guys over at FTM. Connor Swan Speed Shop has really been working hard to get us a dig. Shaggy TV, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Isaac for running a great race, Joe for finishing third. Congrats on Sam maybe for winning the championship. I'm not quite sure. It was either Sam or William Watson. So congrats to whichever one of those two guys won that.
Well,
teammates of mine. So really cool to see.
I'm looking here, standings after 10 of 10 races, and it's looking like Sam Bachman's out front with 588. So I don't know if that is the winner of the 358s or not.
It all depends on the drops. I don't know if that includes the drops or not. So
yeah, I know. And Watson, he's got 532. So I mean, it all depends also how tonight is, because Watson finished a few spots ahead of Bachman.
Yeah, I don't think it was enough to make up that much, but either way, congrats to whoever it was that won that, and we'll move on and start a new season.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, Scott, and we'll see how you go the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Now we'll get with our winner, Isaac. Good evening here, Isaac. How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's everything going with you? You pretty much had that thing from start to finish.
I wouldn't say I had it the whole time. There's a couple times where I definitely fell off the top in 3 and 4 and about let them right back in it. But yeah, man, it was a fun race. The track was tricky. It made it a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it slicked off a lot more than what we're used to, and I think that contends to all the great racing we've seen here tonight at Lucas Oil's already. And great car count. I mean, we had a full field here for the feature, which was great to see.
Yeah, I was super thrilled to see the full field and everything like that. Couple bad luck there, and in the B main and stuff like that. But like, other than that, the racing was phenomenal. Like, it was bottom, top, middle. Like, every line was really good, and it, like I said, it made it pretty challenging and a lot of fun to try to catch up with the track and kind of guess where the line was going to be. So I love that kind of racing.
Yeah, you definitely pulled it off there, getting that win here in the 358s, and can't wait to see what you bring forth going late into the night here with the big blocks and then into the Pro Late models.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's championship night, so I'm gonna try to stay out of the way if I absolutely need to. But you know, I am here to win these races and show these guys that that next season it's gonna be a little bit tougher when I come back around. So it should be a lot of fun tonight.
Alrighty, well, congrats getting the win here in the 358. You got sponsors, shout outs, anybody to thank?
Oh yeah, big time. You know, all those guys over at Venom Racing and Dean and the Super Dirt Car Series for all their support. You know, it's even on these big breaks, they're always cheering me on, so that's pretty awesome. Magnum Race Designs for that Steam, JRB Designs for my other ones, Arson Trackside, Mission 22, and everything they do for our veterans. My Grams and Top Notch Trucking, my Grams chilling in some physical therapy rehab right now, so it's I told him I'd get him the win tonight, so hope you enjoyed it, Gramps, and hope he's having some fun. Shaggy TV, oh yeah, like he's having fun in therapy. No, but Shaggy TV and Regency Home Inspections, you know, other than that, like my mom, my dad, Kelser for always watching. Thank you for the broadcast all season. It's been a lot of fun to get to watch them, even though I haven't really been here the entire time. So that's always a blast. And other than that, thanks to everybody that came out and raced tonight. And it was a lot of fun.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, getting that win, and we'll see how the rest of the night goes for you here as the night goes on.
Yeah, buddy, I appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
All right, that was Isaac Salas, our winner here tonight in the 358s. We'll be back here shortly with the Big Mock Modifieds.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight when we talked about it.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
In the big block modifieds. Got another good showing here tonight in the big block modifieds. And on now, as you're watching there, of Kean Fry in that number 8. You got Bob DeGood out here in that number 7 as well. As I work down here in the corner number 1, that number 7 looking good out there in that Napa Motorsports machine. Everybody gets set to rock and roll here tonight in the big blocks. So qualifying underway. See how these drivers stack up here. Now you see Bob DeGood coming there through 3 and 4. We just watched the small block, the 358s. And we got Billy Roberts. Now Trevor Guru takes the top spot. Jason Butterfield there in second. There's Dean Reynolds. Hey, drivers come up off the corner. That number 7 out there. Up Bob DeGood, sitting about 8th. And he'll bring it up there off. There's the 8 up Kean Fry. He's about done. We're waiting for Sam Bachman, Shane Billings, and Barry Wallace to all qualify. Bachman laid down a 14.579. Now we're watching the 18 here. That'd be the 018 of Logan Wentz getting 16th position. There you see the 74 of Shane Billings. That's the 817. And work down here out of the corner. Still don't see Barry Wallace taken to the track yet. Yeah, looks like Billings is going to have a 14.703. There you see the 007 of Sam Bachman as he's out there with a 14.579. Good enough for 13th position. Qualifying comes to an end. Here we go. Heat number 1 coming up. We'll have 3 heats. If I'm looking at it right. Now, no. We're going to have maybe 4 heats. We'll see. Billy Roberts out there in front. Mike Brewer there second. Joseph Grande there third. Isaac Salas in fourth. Sam Bachman fifth. Logan Wentz will be starting there in sixth. Shane Billings in seventh. John Dubai in seventh. That is how they're going to start here for heat number 1. 8 laps of distance. Here for Full Throttle Motorsports, Big Block Modifieds. Here from Coast to Coast Racing League, here watching at Coast to Coast Racing Network, along with whoever might be watching over at Fleeger Farm TV as well. Down here in the corner number 1 they go to get rolling out here. As we said, 8 laps the distance. You got the 390 there of Brewer. Salas out there in fourth. He got the pole position once again and qualified. So can he take what he learned from the 358s and apply it to the big blocks? As we saw what type of racing we had in the 358s. And these drivers really look forward to, especially whenever we can have a field like we got tonight. Makes the racing really great here for the broadcast, along with the drivers having a lot more fun on the racetrack. When they have the competition, things don't get quite strung out here as they get ready for the start. Coming down here out of corner number 3. Out of 4, green flag is in the air. They're down away in the corner number 1. Got everybody battling there. As you see the 518 there, Joseph Grande down there on the inside. Billy Roberts out there in second. Salas up to third as he gets around Grande. Now he's got a set of sights on the cars in front of him. Diving down underneath the 66 of Roberts. Down through the back stretch down here in the corner number 1. And well, now into 3 and 4. As you see Salas down there on the inside. Everybody else battling here off of 4. Now just see they're off of 2 down the backstretch. 6 laps to go here in heat number 1. Out there in front is that 390 of Mike Brewer. Billy Roberts there in the second. Salas there in third as he's down there on the inside. Trying to work his way up there to the front. 5 laps to go. Coming around out of 4. Coming to 4 to go. As the leaders kind of single file out along with the rest of the field. Salas, though, not giving up down there on the inside. I don't know if he wants to try maybe going a little bit higher in the corner. We see Roberts takes a little bit higher line to see if that gains him any lit on the 390. There, Brewer, I don't know if it fully did as Salas tries to chase down Roberts. 3 to go. Brewer there out front. Roberts there second. Salas third. Grande there in fourth. Down through the front straightaway. Here in the corner number 1 again. 2 laps to go now. As Salas battles there with Roberts. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Salas up here trying to get second away. Can't quite do it. Final lap here as Salas makes a last-ditch effort down there on the inside to try to get that car to bite. Can't quite get it to do so. Down here in the corner number 3. Going to sling it in there. Can't quite get it to happen as he's going to have to get out of it a little bit. That's going to give Grande a little bit of room. And not quite enough air for Grande. Salas brings home third with Brewer taking home the win. Roberts there in second here in heat number 1. Heat number 1 results. Mike Brewer getting the win. Billy Roberts there second. Isaac Salas there third. Joseph Grande fourth. Logan Wentz fifth. Sam Bachman there in sixth. Shane Billings there in seventh. And John Dubai there in 8th. Heat number 2 on the grid. Your starting field is going to be Bob DeGood rolling off there with the pole. Jason Butterfield in second. In that second row is Michael Vitale. In third with Trevor Guru there fourth. Third row is going to be Dylan Kinsey in fifth with Harold Klump in sixth. That final row here, that fourth final row in heat number 2, that's going to be Brody Blotz in 7th position with Barry Wallace in 8th. Heading out here looking good so far. As you see them all scattered down here. 2 by 2 to get this heat number 2 started. Work here off of turn number 3. I'm sorry, off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Pace car rolled in. We're going to be getting ready to go. As you see, Bob the Good as your control car. You got Jason Butterfield for Venom Racing up there on the high side. Green flag is out. Loud pedal gets pressed down in the corner number 1, and heat number 2 is underway with Bob the Good down there on the inside. Michael Vitale in that 213. Going to try to stay ahead of Trevor Guru, who's there in that 75T off of turn number 4. They're all still side by side as they work down here in the corner number 1. The 75T of Trevor Guru falling back there behind Vitale. As you see Butterfield still trying to battle there beside Bob the Good. Wallace has issues, ends up in the pits here during his heat. Here we see him. Oh, no, and they had to check up. Vitale checked up there to keep from getting into Bob the Good. Ended up Trevor Guru getting into the side of him as they fight almost 4 wide down there in the corner number 3. Here in the corner number 1 again. 3 wide there off the corner as Vitale's down there on the inside. Bob the Good's there in the middle. Jason Butterfield took the high side, and he's got that high lane working for him as they work off the corner. Jason Butterfield to the lead with 4 to go here in heat number 2. Vitale there 3rd. Kinsey there in the 5th. Now back here to 4th as they battle it on down here. You got that 639. Kinsey up to 4th. Trying to battle with the 75T. Cannot quite get there. Had to check up a little bit. He ended up getting there into the corner. 35 there, Harold Klump. Bob the Good falls back into 2nd. Jason Butterfield out there in front. Trevor Guru here in 4th. He tries to battle his way up there into a better position here off of 2. Down the back straightaway, right there behind Vitale. Butterfield, great line there through the corner. And he comes up off. He's going to get the white flag down here in the corner number 1. Bob the Good going to try to sling something there through it. Cannot quite get enough momentum. Trevor Guru, he's down there on the inside underneath of Vitale. Nothing there, though, as he comes up off the corner. And that's going to be how they finish. Jason Butterfield as your Heat 2 winner. With Bob the Good in 2nd, Vitale there 3rd. We'll get the rest of the results here shortly. Heat number 2 results. Going to be Jason Butterfield getting the win. Bob the Good there 2nd. Michael Vitale 3rd. Trevor Guru there 4th. Dylan Kinsey 5th. Harold Klump there 6th. Rudy Plotz there in 7th. Barry Wallace in 8th. Heat number 3, your starting grid. Brandon Dittmer there out front. Randall Dixon 2nd. Dean Reynolds 3rd. William Watson there 4th. Scott Riom will roll off in 5th. Jeff Barker starts 6th. And Kean Fry rolls off there in 7th. That is your heat number 3 as it stands right now. William Watson there in 3rd in that, or I'm sorry, in 4th in that number 23. Dean Reynolds down there on the inside. Pace car is off. Dean Reynolds there 3rd. Brandon Dittmer there 2nd. William Watson there in 4th as they head on down through here. Green flag is out there down the way. Heat number 3 on the night. With Brandon Dittmer out front. Dean Reynolds there 2nd. Randall Dixon there 3rd. William Watson here in 4th. They storm it down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Now through 3 and 4. Watson back here in 4th. Trying to gain up there on that 79 of Dean Reynolds. Along with the 011 of Randall Dixon. Out front is Brandon Dittmer in at number 83. As they work there off the corner. Dixon getting a great run off that higher line. as they work down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Up there to the top side, looking underneath. That is going to be Randall Dixon trying to get underneath the 83 of Dittmer. Cannot quite get there. Dean Reynolds and Watson battling it out down here at the back. Down here in the corner number 1. Randall Dixon up there at the top. Dittmer there out front. Watson in 4th. But still battling there with Watson as they come down there off, or still battling with Reynolds as they come down off of 4 down across the start finish line. 4 to go with Dittmer leading the way here in heat number 3. Dixon there in 2nd, Reynolds there 3rd, Scott Rion back here 5th, Watson there 4th. And you see coming into your picture there, the 513 of Jeff Barker. Kean Fry back here in 7th, trying to see if he can get that car dialed in here. Down the back stretch, down there to the low side comes Randall Dixon trying to get underneath the Brandon Dittmer machine. Can't quite get there, off the corner. Now head off in the corner number 2, down that back straightaway. Dittmer's coming here in through 3 and 4. Fry is out as he ended up back down there, crashed somehow. We've got a crash marking here on our screen. White flag for Dittmer as they come down here off the corner. Watson and Reynolds battling hard as they come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Watson trying to hang on to it down there on the inside. Can't quite get the power up off the corner that he needs. And we've been seeing that quite a bit here tonight, where that bottom side just doesn't have it quite with the big blocks. Coming there to the finish. Heat number 3. Results. They're going to be Brandon Dittmer, Randall Dixon there in 2nd, Dean Reynolds there 3rd, William Watson 4th, Scott Rion 5th, Jeff Barker in 6th, Kean Fry there in 7th. We'll be back after this short commercial break. These drivers finish their warm-ups.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here from Lucas Oil, here with the Big Block Modified starting grid, brought to you by RSN Trackside. Mike Brewer out there in front. Jason Butterfield will start outside pole. Brandon Dittmer there in third. Billy Roberts there for it. Bob the Good there fifth. Randall Dixon in sixth. Isaac Salas there seventh. Michael Vitale there eighth. Dean Reynolds in ninth. Joseph Grandi there 10th. Trevor Garou in 11th. William Watson in 12th. Starting in 13th tonight, that's going to be Logan Wentz. Dylan Kinsey will start 14th. Scott Rion 15th. In 16th tonight, that's going to start Sam Buckman. Back there in row number 9, starting on the inside is Harold Klump in 17th with Jeff Barker in 18th to his outside. In 19th tonight, starting there on the inside will be Shane Billings with Brody Plotz in 20th to his outside. Starting there in 21st, down there on the inside is going to be Kean Fry. And at number 8, when his outside is John Dubai. In that number 21, starting 22nd. Barry Wallace will round out your field of 23 drivers here in the big blocks tonight. Down here in the corner, number 1 and 2. 3 wide, all over the place. This race gets underway. 30 lap. We got Butterfield out there in front. Brewer there in second. Now Brewer's trying to get to the lead. Salas back here in fifth. Caution is out. Trevor Garou having issues back here. Now he is around. We'll take a look at it here. All right, down there in the bottom. Comes through here. Try to see what happens. Looks like the 7 gets tags Dean, and it's just everything's on from there. Grandi is involved as well. Looks like we might have lost the pace car. Oh, there it is. Down here off the start-finish line in the corner number 1. Side by side here, Watson Vitale in at 213. You got the 23 of Watson there trying to work his way up through the field as well. And I'm sorry, we forgot about that again. Here as we're on lap number 4. Caution back out. Let's see what this is. So coming there off the corner. You should be able to hear him now there, Barry. You see just a pile up there off the corner. Salas involved. I saw them, they were 4 wide coming off of 4. Salas there in the middle. Just ends up stacked up there. A bunch of drivers turned around there. Getting ready for the start. There we go, lap number 4 underway here. Watson now around. And at number 23. There you see the 518 around as well, Shane Billings. Now we saw Watson end up getting caught up in something here. Coming there across the start line. Here's the start of this. Now we come down here into corner number 1. And as he comes down the back straightaway, unsure what happened there. But the yellow flag here for Joseph Grundy, Shane Billings. There, looking there at Shane Billings in that number 20. And the Joseph Grundy in the numbers 518. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Shane Billings in the 817. Single file here for the restart, most likely. William Watson ahead of everybody. Green flag is out. Brewer out there as your leader. Dittmer there in second. Here comes... looks like we got Logan Wentz back here. Billy Roberts. John DeBye out. Grundy also out, possibly. I'm not seeing him on track. We got the 93 there, Butterfield into the pits now after taking a big hit. There's Brandon Dittmer there in third. Scott Rione there fourth. Sam Bachman there in fifth. Michael Vitale sixth as they roll out of here. Turn number 4 down through the front straightaway. 23 laps to go here in the main event of the big blocks. Isaac Salas now up there in the second. He works that top lane. Looks like he's going to find something there, possibly right there against the bumper of Brewer. Up there against the top side once again. Brandon Dittmer now. He's going to get around Salas. He's going to try that high side now. Down here off corner number 4. Brewer out there in front. Dittmer there second. Salas there third. Brion there fourth. Bachman there fifth. Up there off the corner they go. 21 laps to go. They come here out of turn number 3 in the 4. Back across the stripe. Makes it 20 laps to go. With Brewer out front. There's Salas. Dittmer there in second. Head on out of here. Scott Rion there fourth. Sam Bachman fifth. Michael Vitale there sixth. Bob the Good there seventh. Randall Dixon. And we got Kean Fry around up into the outside fence there in turn number 1. And see him up there against the top side through 3 and 4. Then coming down here into corner number 1, gets into the... and just ends up getting shoved up the racetrack a little bit. And ends up pointing towards that outside wall in corner number 1. Oh, back under caution here. They're struggling here with the big blocks. Unlike, they had a few more cars in the 358s. And I don't think we had this many cautions in the 358s. Now, we're on our 4th caution here. Jeff Barker, Logan Fry, Samuel Bachman, down here off corner number 2, they go down the backstretch. Sam Buckman there in 5th, trying to work his way up there towards the front. Brandon Dittmer there in 2nd. Mike Brewer out there in front. Down here in the corner number 1, Brandon Dittmer there in 2nd. Salas there 3rd. Scott Riom in 4th. As we got 17 laps to go, there comes the 007 of Sam Buckman here in 5th as they work on off. Down here off the bottom side, you got Salas there in 2nd. Brandon Dittmer there in 2nd. Now 3rd. He falls back. Salas jumps up there in the 2nd. Riom there in 4th. Bachman sitting there in 5th. 15 laps to go. Now we look at this. Let's go ahead and look at William Watson is your leader in the points. Sam Bachman's in 2nd. Trevor Guru there in 3rd. So it's possible William Watson's going to take the points here in the Thursday Night Thunder big blocks. And we got Sam Bachman back here in 5th. Michael Vitale in 6th. Working there off of 2. The 83, Brandon Dittmer up there against that outside wall. Scott Riom in 4th. Bachman 5th. 13 laps to go for Mike Brewer, who's out front in that 390. He's got Isaac Salas breathing down on him, though, from Venom Racing. Down there through the backstretch. In the corner number 1 they go. Into 3 and 4. Bob DeGood back here in 7th. Dylan Kinsey in 8th. Randall Dixon there in 9th. Jeff Barger in 10th. Trevor Guru in 11th. Working there off of 4 down through the front stretch. Bachman out there, Brewer out there in front. Salas in 2nd. Dittmer, they're third. Brockman, they're fifth. And you see them all kind of single file here at the moment. Here comes Watson storming up through along with Trevor Guru trying to get that top side to bite. Guru gets up there to the 5:13 of Barker. 9 laps to go for Salas now as Salas takes over the lead in front of Brewer, but not quite. As Brewer makes another dive there, coming there through 1 and 2, slides it up in front of Salas. Now Salas goes to the inside. Down here into corner number 3 and 4. Salas on the inside. Brewer up there on the top side. Brewer is going to have to try slide it back over. 7 laps to go. He's going to try to cut it back down here once again, down through the backstretch, get the grip. Can't quite get there. He's going to fall in line behind Salas up there on the top side. Try to regain it. There coming behind him is Brandon Dittmer in at number 83. Salas up there to the top side. Brewer down there on the inside trying to get that groove to run. Down there in the corner number 3 and 4 once again. He's got something there as he slides it on up. Getting there alongside just for a brief moment as he dives it back down into corner number 1 and 2. Dittmer running that high side. He's hoping these two up front keep the battle going. That give him a shot to get up there to get maybe into the middle of this. It's 5 laps to go. Coming here out of turn number 4. 4 laps to go now as they come down here into corner number 1. Salas, your leader. Brewer there in second. As they come down through the backstretch. Dittmer back here in third. Bachman in fourth. Scott Riome in fifth. So Scott Riome and Bachman switch position. Michael Vitale back here. He's getting around Dylan Kinsey. Kinsey tries to hang on to that 5th position. As Vitale and him battle it out. 3 laps to go here for Salas as he works down through the front stretch. Brewer there in second. Does not look like Brewer's going to get up there to battle him like he was hoping to. I just see them all bearing down through turn 1 and 2. 2 laps to go. Soon to be 1 to go for Isaac Salas as he works here out of turn 4. Back down into corner number 1. Salas has the lead. Final lap coming here onto the backstretch. Salas trying to make it 2 for 2 here tonight. Sam Bachman here for it. Scott Riome 5th. Dylan Kinsey there 6th. Vitale here in 7th. Dixon here in 8th as they roll on back down through here. Salas gets the win in your big block modifieds. Brandon Dittmer there in 3rd. Scott Riome 5th. Dylan Kinsey there 6th. Michael Vitale in 7th. And they roll off here. Great job. Can't wait to see here what they get going. We get with our winners here momentarily. Salas, Brewer, and Dittmer, your podium here tonight. Your results for the feature. Isaac Salas getting the win. Brewer 2nd. Dittmer there 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th. Scott Riome 5th. Dylan Kinsey 6th. Michael Vitale in 7th. Dixon in 8th. Jeff Barker finishes 9th. Dean Reynolds in 10th. William Watson finishes 11th. Logan Wentz in 12th. Bob DeGood 13th. Brody Plotz in 14th. Billy Roberts 15th. Shane Billings in 17th. You got Harold Klump in 17th. 18th going to Kian Fry. Trevor Guru in 19th. Jason Butterfield there 20th. Joseph Grande there 21st. John Dubai 22nd, with Barry Wallace rounding out your field here in 23rd. All right, let's get here with Brandon Dittmer, our 3rd place finisher. Oh, Brandon Dittmer, 3rd here tonight. Good evening there, Brandon. How's it going?
Not so bad yourself.
It's going pretty well here. You got 3rd in the 358s. A lot of competition out there. The track didn't seem as slick this time around, though.
No, it really didn't slick off at all very much, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a slick race, but no, top was working really good there.
Yeah, it did seem like the top group did find its way into the race. I think some drivers did manage to keep that bottom alive. And that's what I've been hearing about Lucas Oil is most of the time you can get a couple different lanes that'll work throughout the racing.
Yeah, Lucas Oil is one of those that you will have a top and a bottom basically the entire race. You just have to have the finesse to drive the bottom, which I do not. So just stick to the top and ride the rails. But, you know, it just happens to be like that.
It definitely worked out. You got third. You stayed ahead of Sam Bachman there in fourth to get that third position. You look like you had a blast out there going around Lucas Oil tonight. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting third place tonight?
You for the broadcast, everybody behind the scenes for Coast to Coast, making everything run as smooth as possible. Trading Lows Racing, all the guys over there. Venom Racing for letting me hang out with them down in the Discord tonight. I think that's it. Oh, and JBR Wraps for the wrap. Do an amazing job.
Alrighty, well, great job there. The car did look great out there in that third spot. Can't wait to see you coming out for the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, I'm going to try to hopefully squeeze it in before DOB.
Alrighty, well, we'll see how well it goes.
Sounds good.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Brandon Dittmer, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with second place, Mike Brewer. Good evening there, Mike. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Managed to get a podium out of this mess here tonight, not being on in a while, but thankful to be here.
Well, I mean, you showed up well here in the big blocks. I'm not sure how you did in the 358s.
I got DQ'd, actually. I incident pointed out for the first time, actually, which was a shock.
You incident pointed out?
Yeah. Apparently I raced a little too rough. Imagine that.
Well, man, that's not how you want to start tonight, you know.
No, I was racing, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting in the pits, and all right. But no, big blocks, that's where it's at, man. The 358s, I really don't care for the 358s, and a lot of guys like them, but I put it to, it reminds me of crate racing, so just single file. If you start up front, you're going to finish up front unless you wreck. But no, good car, good starting position tonight, and good race, and then hats off to Isaac there. That was a good race.
Yeah, it definitely was a great race. As we got news in that Sam Bachman took the 358 championship. I'm waiting to see who takes the big blocks, as I have a feeling it might be Watson.
Yeah, I hear that through the rumor mill. I'm out of the points hunt, and I haven't been paying attention to that, but Bachman got the 358s, and I'm pretty sure that Watson's got this tied up, so.
All right, well, you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for doing such a great job here in the big blocks tonight?
Yeah, everybody at Coast to Coast, all the guys over at Full Throttle Motorsports, great group of guys. You for putting this on. Everybody out there watching, Swanee over there, Speed Shop, or Swan Speed Shop, Dino over there, Durkar, and everybody out there watching.
Alrighty, we do appreciate all the viewers at Coast to Coast Racing Network and over at Freeform TV, whichever platform you're watching on. So, congrats there again, Mike Brewer. We'll see. We'll see how you do it in the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. See how it works out.
Alrighty, well, good luck.
Thank you.
That was Mike Brewer, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Isaac Salas, our winner. Good evening there, Isaac. Well, you're 2 for 2 on the night.
Yeah, I will not complain with 2 for 2.
Well, you're definitely showing them that next season, keep an eye out, that you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, man, that's the goal. I'm gonna try to be back quite a bit more, so I'm excited. Fun to get back in the swing of things for sure.
Well, you did a great job tonight getting that victory here in the big blocks. Kind of take us through that track tonight. What did you think of it? It seemed like the 358s had a slicker track than what the big blocks did.
I agree. I mean, that cushion was it was still predominant, to say the least. I know it probably didn't look like it, but you know, they kind of have shelves here in you know, in Lucas Oil, and you kind of see that nice track, and you try to really charge the corner, and you end up like off on the shelf, and just kind of ruins you. I know that it bit me one time there in 1 and 2. But yeah, man, like I thought there was a pretty good amount of tack and a good amount of slick kind of all throughout, really. I mean, 3 and 4, you kind of had to start committing to the top, you know, for the most part. But 1 and 2 was, you know, pretty dicey. It made it a lot of fun.
And you were up there pretty much as far as you can go on that cushion without getting onto the shop, right?
Yeah, basically. You're just trying to finesse it right up on there.
It's kind of similar to the way Lernerville is, where Lernerville you don't want to go over the bank. Here you don't want to end up on that shelf. It's kind of the same concept.
Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree. Luckily, there's no boats to crash into here at Lucas Oil, but yeah, definitely still applies. I mean, you kind of get over onto that flat piece there, and it's real tough to keep, you know, your momentum up without getting in a wreck too when you're trying to come back on. So it's fun though. I will say I enjoy it a lot.
Great job tonight. You got sponsors, shout outs. Anybody you want to thank here getting that victory once again in the big blocks?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to reiterate all the ones from last time, you know, Venom Racing and Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs with that scheme. That scheme is really sweet. I like the 2 of those ones combined. You know, Artisan Trackside, Mission 22, Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, Coast to Coast. You know, Top Notch Trucking with Gramps. It sounds like they're still watching, so hi Mom, hi Dad, hi Gramps. And yeah, other than that, thanks to Miss Kelser for you know, letting me have my wonderful hobby here. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks to you again, if I don't talk to you again. So.
Well, I was just going to ask you that. Are you running the Pro Late models?
I'm here, but they're not my specialty.
Yeah, we know you've had this kind of problem before where you've got up here to get the wins in the modifieds, but you can't quite sweep the night away yet.
Yeah, I get a little bit too gung ho here in these late models, and you know, that downforce of that rear spoiler, especially with these updates getting a little more realistic. The moment you lose your spoiler, you're basically no downforce there in the back end there, and you know, it's just something I have to get used to, and we'll see. You never know. I didn't think I was going to win the last one or that big block race, so you never know.
Well, good luck to you. We'll see what it entails as we get ready for the Pro Late models.
Awesome, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right, that was Isaac Salas, our winner here in the big blocks. Now we're going to be taking a short break. We'll be back here at Coast to Coast Racing Network and on the pole here in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere.
it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get...
Tonight we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in an on-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they've done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're getting ready here for the Pro Late models. Brian Dixon is out front. Mike Wheeler there in for it. William Watson there in fifth. Hey, driver, get ready for qualifying. I'm very pleased that we have such a great turnout for car count tonight. We had 30 drivers show up for the 358s. You had 23 show up for the big blocks. Now we have 17 here with the Pro Late models. Yes, we see a decline as the night goes on, but I mean, it's great to see here especially whenever we got sponsors like Full Throttle Motorsports trying to put on a great show there in the modifieds. And we got Wriggle Wraps and Designs trying to help put on a show here for the Pro Late models. Qualifying is about to begin. And we see who all comes to the track first. Now looks like we got Brian Dickens. He's coming out here. And there we see the 68. Or I'm sorry, no, 66. Mike Wida also on track. Brandon Dittmer. They're coming off the corner. Down here, we got the 16 of Matt Barber coming off of the corner. He's there in 5th now. Here we got 513 of Jeff Barker up there coming off. We still need Logan Wentz in the 018 to bring out. There we see the 8 of Ken Fry. Mike Brewer there in 14th. We see them all here except Logan Wentz. Logan Wentz has not qualified yet. Here for heat number 1, your starting grid. Brandon Dittmer out there in front. William Watson there second. Joseph Grundy there third. With Trevor Garou there 4th. Jeff Barker 5th. Dean Reynolds there 6th. Scott Riome 7th. Mike Wida there 8th. Logan Wentz in 9th here as we get started in for our heat number 2. As we see them all getting ready for the start. We'll go one lap around. Down in the corner number 1. They work down here through turn 3 and 4. Trevor Garou back there in 3rd as they work here off the corner. Great job here so far. Yeah, great job here by these drivers trying to find their group here in the Pro Late model. Scott Riome back here in 5th. Mike Wheeler here 6th. Jeff Barker in 7th as Watson leads it here out front in that 75 or I'm sorry, in that number 23, 75T. As we get them colliding there, trying to see there, that is the 444 of Scott Riom getting beaten down there into the tire. Coming there off the corner they go. Everybody worked down here off the corner. Great, great job. They work there off the corner. Watson out there in front. Trevor Garou there in second. Dean Reynolds there third. Mike Wita there fourth. As they work completely off the corner. Watson getting the win here in your 358. Or I'm sorry, no, your Pro Late models. Sorry, wrong car. For Eagle Wraps and Designs. Heat number 1, your results. William Watson getting that win. Trevor Garou there in second. Dean Reynolds third. Mike Wita there in fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Brandon Dittmer there sixth. Scott Riom there in seventh. Joseph Grundy there in eighth. And Logan Wentz in ninth. Starting here in heat number 2. That's going to be Sam Bachman out there in front. Matt Barber there in second. Brian Dickens there third. Isaac Salas there fourth. Shane Billings there fifth. Sean Fry there Kean Fry there in sixth. Mike Brewer in seventh. And Brody Plotz in eighth. All right, head on out through here, getting ready for the start. Lights are off on that pace machine, getting ready for the race to start here for heat number 2 of the Pro Late models. Coming here off corner number 2. Pace car pulls off. Work off the corner here. Down in here they go. Side by side, Bachman and Barber battling it out. Bachman goes there to the inside. Here comes Barber up there on the top side. Oh, hang on to it. They're 3 wide as Kean comes through the middle there in that number 8. Down there through the back side. In corner number 3 and 4, 2 wide. As they come off the corner, now they kind of situate single file here with 6 to go. Bachman out front in that 007. There in second, that's Brian Dickens in that number 122. Matt Barber in that 16. Down there on the inside, and they work here off the corner. Down here through and off. We're going to hear off the corner, down in the corner number 1 and 2 down here. Through 3 and 4, 3 to go. It's gonna be Shane Billings back here for Barber. There we go, coming out of turn 4. Sam Bachman out there in front. Brian Dickens there second. Barber there in third. Now they roll here off the corner. Barber in third. Billings there for it. Isaac Salas there fifth. Off the corner, Dickens there second. Yeah, Bachman gets the win, and it's going to get interesting as Bachman and Whitland are at the top of the leaderboard in points. And we did get confirmation for the big block mods that William Watson is your champion for the big block modifieds. If you were watching that here a little while ago, he is your big block modified champion. Hey, drivers, hang out here, coming down here into the next corner for warm-ups. We got a few warm-ups here to go. Be back after this short message.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we go with the starting grid for your main event here tonight. It's going to be William Watson starting out there on pole, who is your current points leader. Sam Bachman, who's second, is second in points. Trevor Guru in third. Brian Dickens there fourth. Dean Reynolds there fifth. Matt Barber there in sixth. Mike Weida there seventh. Shane Billings in eighth. Jeff Barker ninth. Starting in 10th is going to be Isaac Salas. Brandon Dittmer will start there in 11th. Brody Plotz there in 12th. Starting in 13th. That's going to be Scott Riome. Ken Fry rolls off in 14th. Joseph Grandi there in 15th. Mike Brewer in 16th. Logan Wentz, back there in 17th. Hey, drivers, get set and ready to rock and roll here for your beginning race, or for your main event here tonight. Down here, out of corner number 1. Watson out there in front. Bachman there second. Trevor Guru there third. You see Bachman falls back into third now. As they come on through here. Watson, if he can hang on to it. Down there through the front stretch. If Watson hangs on to it, Barber back here having issues. Caution already out here at lap number 1. They have to see here what happens. All stack up through there. Coming out here in the corner number 1. Ends up there tangled with Dean. And the 16 ends up there against the outside wall. Now Reynolds tags him up there a little bit, it looked like. See if we can get a better angle at that. See if we can get a blimp or a view there. We see drivers all over the back. What I'm wanting to see, though, we didn't quite see it there. I'm wanting to see exactly here as we come here. We see that 79 down there on the bottom side. Coming down here in the corner number 1, and he gets up in there and gives the door to the 16. Getting ready for the restart. Come here out of turn 4. Watson is your leader. Bachman still there in second. Green flag is out. They're down and away down here in the corner number 1. They work down through there. There we see Guru trying to get back underneath of Bachman as they head on back down the backstretch. 26 laps to go. Watson out front. If Watson can hang on to it, he will have the points wrapped up. And I wouldn't have to wait on confirmation on that. As they work down here through turn 1 and 2, back out onto the backstretch. We've seen somebody start to roll out of the pits, and that might be what brought the caution out. We'll see here. Well, we have Scott Riome and Ken Fry. They bring it on down the backstretch here. As we see Ken Fry get into the back, possibly, of Riome. Hey, Riome come down there, and there comes Fry down there, just tags him around. That'll bring out your caution flag number 2 here in the Pro Late Models. All right, drivers, if you're watching, kind of settle down, get into the pace here. Dean Reynolds sitting there on the inside, sitting about 5th. Bachman having a slight connection issue there, rolling through turn 1 and 2. Pace car is off. We're about to go back. Green flag racing. Your points leaders up there on the front row. Sam Bachman and William Watson. Down here out of corner number 4, down in the corner number 1. Lap number 3 of 30 on the board as they roll down here out the backstretch. And in the corner number 3 and 4, Bachman hangs on better that time as there comes Dickens. Guru fighting back up there on the high side of that 75T. Working there on top of Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds down there on the bottom side. Sliding up the racetrack. There comes Salas in that number 5. He's going to make it up here, try to get up in the top 5. Ends up on the show, and there goes Dean Reynolds up there into the top of the wall. Hopefully Dean's okay. That looked like a heavy hit there for Dean coming out of turn number 4. Yeah, we saw him just slam that outside wall. Now here we see, here comes Dean. There beside the 75T. Salas up there on the top side. I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, it just breaks loose. And right up into that outside wall. Right in front of the medic there. You know, man, I'm not sure what happened there to Dean. It just all of a sudden. Hey, we'll see if we can get a better look here. We watch it here as it comes through the corner. All of a sudden, it just snaps loose and comes right up the track. Dean Reynolds, man, not the race he's wanting to have. Lights are off. Pace car rolls off. Reynolds comes around. And Reynolds will join up with the back of the pack. Watson as your leader. Single file off of the start. Here we go. 26 laps to go. Better start that time. They roll down here in the corner number 1. 2 wide there with the 96. Brody Plotz. On the scoreboard, he's 196 there as they work off the corner. Down in the 4, off there in the corner number 1. Watson and Bachman back here now working with Dickens. Watson leads it as they work down here through turn 1 and 2, down here through 3 and 4. You got that 75T of Guru. As you see them all battling for position back here. You got the 16 there of Matt Barber down there on the inside. The 817, Shane Billings up there on the top side. The 196 there, Brody Plotz down there in the middle. As they work down here, 23 laps to go. Sam Bachman out front, leading the way. Is William Watson. Bachman there in second, Dickens there third. Guru now getting into third as he gets around Dickens. As Dickens falls back here in the fourth. That outside lip starting to come together there for Guru. Up there towards the top side, that's going to be Sam Bachman trying to get that lip figured out. It looks like that's where the speed is up there on that top side. We watch the 66 of Mike Weeda work that top lane as he's up there on that shelf that we talked about. Reynolds up, and into the 390 there of Mike Brewer goes Mike Weeda. That car smashed. Here we see the 444 of Scott Rio. And he works down there as he comes up and into the 390. And just nowhere for the 66 of Mike Weeda to go. Mike Brewer is destroyed. There's no getting that car to turn around. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it up there. Well, he might be able to get it up there on the pit road. Hopefully that's not a black flag. He does get it snuck on the pit road. There comes the 8. Man, oh man. That was not that big hit there for Mike Brewer and Mike Weeda. 21 laps to go. Bachman still sitting second now. Dickens all back there to third. Or is in third. Guru there in fourth. Lights go out. Pace car is off. We're getting ready for the green flag to drop here. Now, Bachman and Watson come out there to the front. Off the corner here for the Regal Wraps and Designs. Pro Late Models. It's going to be Watson down there to the inside as everybody comes through turn number 1. You're looking there at the 196 now. Brody Plotz as he worked down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Green flag out. 20 laps to go. Up there is Brian Dickens trying to get up there a spot if he can. Down there on the inside, here comes Isaac Salas looking to the inside up off at corner number 2. He works down there underneath of Trevor Guru. He's going to try to get that spot. Can't quite get that inside to bite. He's down there giving it all he's got, getting that car to rotate where he needs it. Just unfortunately can't get the bite he needs to come up off the corner in a position ahead. Now he's down there underneath the Dickens, underneath the Guru. Here comes the 817 rather, of Shane Billings as he works out there. There's Bachman in second, Watson out there in front, Trevor Guru there third, Brian Dickens down there on the inside in that 122. Salas now comes to the outside to get around Dickens. Down here through the backstretch. 16 laps to go. Salas now up there in the fourth. Coming down there in the through. He's up there on that shelf. Right there on the edge. As they come down there in the corner number 1. Up there on the high side once again is the 444 of Scott Riome. He ended up there against the outside wall once again. He's bringing it to the pits. Coming off a turn 4. The 75T of Trevor Guru getting back down around underneath a underneath and around Isaac Salas. Isaac Salas makes the crossover. Coming down here into corner number 3 and 4. Gets it up there. Now Dickens sitting there in 5th. As Trevor Guru falls back there in the 4th. Salas up in the 3rd as he got around Trevor Guru. Trying to chase down these front runners of Bachman and Watson. As they are your points leaders here in the Pro Late Models. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out as Salas is here in 3rd. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Dean Reynolds back here in 8th. Brody Plotz back here in 9th. Ken Fry back here in 10th. Rounding out your field, there's the 513, or rounding out your field of 10, or rather. Down here in 11th is Jeff Barker in that 513. Up there on the top side is the likes of Isaac Salas. And you see there that 75T of Trevor Guru trying to chase him down. Getting some decent speed through the corner. Salas tried to nip off a little bit there off the corner. Can't quite get there. Watson still leads the race. Bachman there second. 9 laps to go for the Pro Late Models here tonight. Salas gets up a little high on top of that shelf, had to bring it back down. Luckily, he was able to bring it down without too much issues. Watson out there in front, Bachman there second, Salas there third. Trevor Guru back there in fourth, and that 75T, Brian Dickens, in that 122 as they work there off a turn number 4, back down through the front straightaway. And in the corner number 3, or corner 1 and 2, as the Dickens looks to see if he can get underneath. Guru will do so here through 3 and 4. Can't quite get there. As Guru gets up there right underneath the bumper of Salas as they work down here through the corner. Side by side, they're trying. As you got the 75T there right beside of Dickens. Dickens going to get underneath both of them now here as they work through off of turn 4. Dickens up there in the 3rd, coming across the line. Can't he quite hold on to it down here off the corner. Caution is out. Mike Brewer having issues at that 390 once again. There you see Watson, the 390 there of Mike Brewer. All kind of issues here as he comes back into corner number 1 and 2 and brings it up there and, try to make it on the pit road and ends up into the outside wall there before. And I'm not sure what happened to Trevor Guru. We'll take a quick look here, see if Guru was any problem. Guru was up here trying to battle with Dickens as he slides up on top of the shelf a little bit down the backstretch. No, he's just going to, oh, no, he is. He brought it down there off the bottom. Brought it to a stop in the infield. Five laps to go. Watson and Bachman. Salas back here in third. Five laps to go for the distance. Pace car coming around. Lights go off. They'll pull off. And through corner number 3 and 4. Green flag out there, down and away. Watson is the leader. Bachman there in second. But that was their third. Brian Dickens down there on the inside now as he works there. Salas trying to get up there beside Bachman. As they work here through 3 and 4. He gets down there. Can he slide it up? He will. Right in front of Bachman. Ends up getting hit. Not sure where Salas ended up as Salas had blinked out there after bringing it up in front of Bachman. And we lost him there. You see him there on pit road. It will end it for him tonight. Green, white checker here tonight for these drivers. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to get a hold of this replay too well. We'll see. We come down here off the corner of 2. There we see coming off of 3. Up in front, he comes right there in front of Bachman. And then he blinks out, and there you see him right up into the outside wall there. So green, white checker. Here they come out of 4. Lights still on. We'll see if they go off this time. They come down that front straightaway. Lights are off. They're single file. They're ready for the restart. Watson out front. Bachman there second. Salas getting a little overzealous there, as he said that he sometimes does. Ends up out back here in about 10th at the time being. Out of 4, Watson brings them to the flag. They're down and away with Bachman there in second, Dickens in third now. They head on down here through turn 1 and 2, down that back straightaway. 2 laps to go. Coming here out of turn number 3 and 4. Yeah, here we go. Watson comes to the white flag down here in the corner number 1. Bachman ends up getting cut off. He's going to fall back through the pack. That's going to cinch it there for Watson as Watson comes down there through turn 3 and 4. Up off of the corner, down here through the front straightaway. Watson gets the win here tonight along with wrapping up the championship. He gets your championship in the Pro Late Models as well as getting it in the big blocks. So we'll be getting with him most definitely here in just a little bit from Victory Lane, as he got quite the accomplishments here tonight in this summer season of Coast to Coast in the Pro Late Models. Your finishing results here for tonight's race. That's going to be Watson getting the win. Brian Dickens there second. Shane Billings there third. Matt Barber in fourth. Dean Reynolds there fifth. Sam Buckman will finish sixth after getting shoveled back here those last couple of laps. Brody Plotz there in seventh. Kean Fry in eighth. Jeff Barker there in ninth. Mike Weeda there 10th. Isaac Salas there in 11th. Trevor Garou finishes tonight in 12th. Mike Brewer in 13th. Scott Riom finishes 14th. Brandon Dittmer there 15th. Joseph Grandi there in 16th. Logan Wentz and 17th. And that is your field here tonight. Finishing results. I will go ahead and get with the winners here. Starting with Shane Billings, if he's around. See who's here. We got Watson. I don't know if we have anybody else showing up or not yet. Shane Billings gets third spot. And I'm not seeing anybody else here. Brian Dickens, don't see him around either. Well, we got Brian Dickens. Oh, we'll jump to Brian Dickens here, our second place finisher. Good evening, Brian. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How'd that track feel out there and avoiding chaos as it looked like?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just out there trying to have a little fun. It's been a while since I drove for a late model. Started getting the hang of about middle of the race. I had a ball. Hopefully it didn't cause any problems myself, but that's about it.
You did a great job out there, and you looked like you had a blast. And you came out with second place tonight. Could you ask for anything better this Thursday evening for the championship night?
Nothing but to win, but I definitely would take second. I wasn't expecting that. And I'd like to thank you for doing the broadcast. Dirt Track Bank, Hammer Down Racing, On Edge Racing, my buddy Mike Weeda for hanging out with me. That's about it.
Well, you had a great job there. You got second. We'll see how next season goes whenever it starts back up again here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I might try to join the guys.
Well, it looks like you might have a little bit of skill to try to get up there to compete with them.
I used to run the Pro Late Models a lot, but I haven't in a long time. Been trying to concentrate on the modifieds mostly. I just decided to jump back in here last second. Had fun.
Well, it looks like you accomplished that goal of having fun here tonight.
Yep.
Well,
all right, man. I appreciate it.
Well, you have yourself a great night and enjoy that second as best you can.
You too, man. Thanks.
Now we'll get with our winner here, William Watson. Well, good evening here, Watson. How's Victory Lane?
It was great, bud.
Well, might as well go and ask you about that big block race first. You did enough to make sure you had the victory in that, and you got the big block and the Pro Late Model Championships wrapped up.
Yeah, the big blocks, I had some internet issues I was trying to clear up during the warm-ups, and I came out right after the green started and some scoring issues happened, so there was a big confusion there. I just dropped back. He put me in first place. So I just dropped back, let the field, about half the field go by, where I should have started at, and just took off then. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad this is the first two actual championships in any league, so excited to do it with the team along. So.
Well, you were close to getting it in the 358s as well. Just unfortunately, Bachman kind of closed that one out on you. But the big blocks, you got it there and here in the Pro Late Models. And kind of tell us about your Pro Late Model run here tonight, getting the victory here at Lucas Oil.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Sam had a chance to take it from me. I was just trying to hold my lines and wasn't trying to stay in the mirror, because if I would drive just Pro Late Models and I stay in the mirror and try and block him, I'll end up running to the wall. So I was just driving my race. I could hear him every now and then. I would look up and see him right on my tail, and the caution would come out. So I mean, a bunch of cautions there saved me, but a couple of them hurt me at the same time. I got a lead.
Well, you did a great job, and can't wait to see what next season may hold for you.
Yeah, I can hit it. I guess I'm gonna try and put some more time in 358s because I came up short. So.
Just a little bit. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, teammates at FDM, Long Speed Shop, Stupid Performance, GripX.com, Dirt Car Series, Vortex Gardens for the Wraps. They did a great job over there. Vega TV, Coast to Coast for letting me back in here and roasting these guys. You can broadcast it, bud. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure, and can't wait to see what we have going forward here.
Yep, sounds great.
So, well, that'll about wrap it up here from Lucas Oil, I would think, don't it?
That'll do it.
All right, well, you enjoy that victory and have yourself a great night and enjoy your championship wins.
Thanks, bud.
So that is our championship winner there, along with tonight's victory winner here in the Pro Late Models. We sign off here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hopefully, you'll be back next season here at Coast to Coast Racing Network to watch it all. Once again, we get into the fall or winter series, whatever they call it. And be sure to make sure you get them notifications. A lot of great racing. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you later.
you